Hello everyone, welcome to the Stealing Inside YouTube channel and welcome to our Excel series, day 3. The first 2 days we spoke about the background interface and the basic things that you need to know on Microsoft Excel. The second place we spoke about the creating blank worksheets and also enhance the means whereby you can easily get your data being created. So today we'll be going to basic of data entry and cell formatting in Excel. I appreciate the returning viewers, and for the new viewers, we want you to also join in with us and also ensure you subscribe in order to get notification for the next day class. Basic data entry is just about imputing data on the system with respect to the figures and the things that you have been provided with. Now, first thing you need to realize is that in our step-by-step guide on entering data, anything you want to type, you must first select the cell. Just the way I've put this cursor on this column of A and the row 1, which will give us A1. By the time I click on it, you can see that it has changed the name box to A1. That's the way to start entering data. Maybe a market store, we've spoken about serial number in the past. So let's use the serial number here, 1. Okay. Now, please note that Excel has been programmed in such a way that letters align to the left, while numbers align to the right. Letters or alphabet aligns to the left, while numbers aligns to the right. You can now decide to choose the way where you want them to align, both of them to align to. You can decide it to be in the middle, which is what I just did, the middle alignment. The first thing is to highlight it the way I did by clicking here to highlight. If I click out, that's in. By the time I click it all over again, you highlight, then you change. You can decide to put it at the left alignment, and you can decide to close up this cell, the column rather, in order for it to just manage the space. Let's assume you're dealing with a supermarket. So let's say product. Then apart from product, talk about price, or let me say unit price, so that we'll be able to use the same data subsequently. Unit price. Now stock total amount. I've explained that for you to see the hidden file, just put here, not to waste your time. You don't need to click and drag. This will be wasting your time. You can just put the cursor here and double click. That's all. Every time you click it here and double click, that's all. Now, so we already have this data. Like I showed you how to create a borderline, then just click on the icon, then go to the borderline point, then you create a borderline. Now, if you want to know the total amount here, it's something that is very easy. Then one thing that you also need to back of your mind, let me just say that before I move on, is that the way this icon, this cursor is on this column, or this cell rather, because it's the intersection of the cell and the row, the column and the row. So it's a cell, it's not a column, it's a cell. So the cell E2, by the time you click on enter, just as I've done, it moves to the next cell, but downward. It moves to the next cell downward. But if you want to move forward, you can just click on your tab, 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 tab. Tab moves it forward. If you want to go backward with that tab, you can just hold on the shift icon, then you press the same tab, 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 tab. Shift, you hold it down. You press tab, it moves it backward to the left. So you also hold the shift down and you press enter, it takes it backward up. So without the mouse, you can easily work with your Microsoft Excel workbook and worksheet. So we already have this data. Like I showed you how to create a borderline, then just click on the icon, then go to the borderline point, then you create a borderline. Now, if you want to know the total amount here, it's something that is very easy about that. Another thing that I also want to say that you can easily change this. Okay, let us make this bold. Let us make this bold. Now, you can easily change the font size. Let's assume that I want to change the font size of the heading. So times New Romans. So look at the headings. You can see that it's now wider. Just do what we've been doing before. This, and that's that. That's the heading. And this heading, you can get it under home. And you can decide to maybe utilize, probably want to utilize each of what is written here. You just click on this icon. It means to utilize. You can as well decide to change the font of that. Maybe this is the font you want. Something like this. That's what you want for each of what you're working on. It's just for us to play around what is required. And you can as well underline either you're using Ctrl U or you just click on this icon. You can see that it has underlined each of them, and if you want to remove the underline, you can click it as well. If you want to remove the italics, you can also click it as well, and that removes the italics. You can as well decide to change the font. Now the font has been reverted back to this. Now another thing that I want us to look at is these numbers. Look at ones when I click out here. When I click here, you see at this place of the numbering place, you notice that the number format here is showing custom. By the time I click on this, it's showing custom, and for the custom, you can decide to just change it to numbers. That's just for it to feature as number. You can decide to make currency. Now, this currency that is giving us here is pounds, and you can choose to change the currency. You can choose to change the currency. So what did I do here? I just clicked on, let me just go back for ease of understanding, more number format. So this more number format, the symbol here is pounds. You can decide to change it to naira. Actually for naira, you not see Nigeria there. You see Hausa, and you also see other Nigerian, Edo, Fula, that's Nigeria, Hausa. These are the tribes in Nigeria, Yoruba. So all of these are actually connoting naira. You can use any of them. So let's assume that I pick on this, and okay, so that changes it to naira, and you know that you are dealing in naira. You can as well just eliminate the figure there. You can also decide to change the format from currency to any of this, any of this, any of this, and you can get more. So before we go in this class, I also love to show you that you can change the background color of each of these things. You can assume that you want to use the background of the product is going to be, this is the way you change background color. This is background color. So you click on this. So the background color, let's assume we want this for this background. Yeah, for this background, we want this. Then for this background, which is the stock, we want this. Okay, I will prefer a light color or something today. Now for the total amount, the background color, we can decide that this all we want. Now, apart from the background color, we can also change the color of the text. So this text, we can decide that we want to use, instead of black, we want to use green, this deep green, and as well this. Remember, this was the background color. This is the text. This is for text. So change the color of the text. Now this, we can just decide to use a yellow. That will be more visible. Now you can decide to also change the color of this text, just something like that. Now that is done. We've spoken about the borderline. So I'll just use a particular thing to bring about this. Now look at what we've just done before. What we've done about changing of color. We will decide that we want to eliminate it, the changes we've made in terms of the color of the text. What I'm clicking is the undo. Now you can see that it has changed that back to red, and if I want to revert it back to the yellow that it was, I can redo. By the time I click this, you see that it has done it all over again. By the time I click this also, it has done it all over again. So that's what I was talking about, the undo and the redo. So
the undo will take you back to the previous details what you've inputted before. Now we'll be going directly to the calculation of the with the formula product. And to use the formula on Excel, you need to start with the quality sign, the unit price, and the stock, which is the number of quantity of that item that is available in stock. So for what we have on screen is going to be quality sign the product. Now tab, you need to put open bracket the cell that you're talking about, which is C1, C2 rather, then D2, and you close the bracket. Once you input the enter key, you get the answer. By the time you click and drag down, you have the response to that. And I told you before that that's a long way. Just put it there and double click. You'll be able to get your answer still by double clicking at that point. And with that, you can also decide to change it to currency by going to the currency tab there. When it's changed to currency, you use more formats because we are dealing with Naira, not pounds. Now, you can use either the Kanuri, the Hausa, the Yoruba, the Igbo, any of the ones that is written in Naira. So that's how we have our digit. Now, you can also decide to remove the decimal zeros the way it is being done now by clicking at that icon at the top. And with this, we already have the total amount for the unit price and the stock, in which can be used to make decision by the owner of the store. Furthermore, it's important that you save your document. When you check the top of this Excel sheet, it's showing book 1 Excel. So for us to save, I click on the save icon, and from the save icon, you click on the save as browse, and I'm going to be saving as Excel D3. That's just to serve as a reminder on how to save your document as it has been previously treated in the past. Please ensure to always subscribe as it is required. You'll see that it's Excel Day 3 at the top. It has changed from book 1. Ensure you also subscribe, you like, you share with your colleague or friends that actually need the knowledge of Microsoft Excel for beginners. Thank you for staying tuned. Look out for the next class as it's promised to be more insightful than this.